already got me. Peekaboo. Hello. Hi, you guys enjoy? Hello. I'm getting a terrible glare.
That's because I'm glaring at you.
Well, you gotta be working together.
¿Cuánto tiempo te vas a quedar aquí?
Todo el tiempo, pero...
Mira, yo tengo un box.
The battery is straight to your right.
Si es de aquí, yo tengo un box. ¿Lo puedo dejar aquí?
O Wolfgang tiene todas sus cosas ahí atrás.
Ok, entonces
¿Las hace aquí o allá atrás?
They're downstairs actually. Okay. So downstairs because people have signs from downstairs. Okay.
Do it right now.
Yeah. You can do it right here. You don't need to go.
I don't need to go nowhere.
See what's happening.
Busted.
I don't know if that's going to work. You give it a couple of tries.
Everybody feeling? You can hear me? Well, for those that don't know me, I'm Kevin Army. And thank you for coming out. I just want to let everybody know that there's raffles being sold tonight for t-shirts, which will be supporting the film. And you can get your raffle ticket from Adolfo. Adolfo, could you raise your hand? He has the raffle ticket. The tickets are as such. $1 for one ticket, $6 for 5, and $10 for 15. The shirts are really nice. They're designed by David Ultima and I forgot the other person. It's one of those microphones, you know what I'm saying? And also there's a silent auction in the lobby. They have paintings and stuff and other things downstairs that you can go check out. Now, last but not least, check this list up here if you haven't signed, you know, your name may be on it. If you haven't signed the release form, you can look and see if your name is on here, and if so, that means you need to sign a release form. The film will be starting after a performance by Kevin Arviance at 8 p.m. So you got a couple of minutes just to unwind and just get you a drink. See, usually I read these microphones when they do this to me, but I'm not in the mood tonight. So thank you, and if anybody, don't forget to get your raffles. It supports the film. The silent auction is downstairs.
There you go.
If you need to sign a release form and get a release form, you can get one from David McQueen right here. It's David.
mucho más tiempo.
Alright, yeah, we have a lot of members. We have about 12 members. And we make it a point. Outside?
Yeah. So
Excuse me, the silent auction, if anybody's interested, is right outside the door on this floor right here. So you can just go take a look and see what's going on out there. Again, the silent auction is outside on this floor. Great Google Booker. Artwork by Lula Ortiz and who else? Gilbert and Gilbert. Go check out the artwork, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm looking in your video.
First of all, there's one rule. Please keep the center aisle clear because there's a projection going on here. So if you have to cross over, please cross over on the other side, that way or that way. But the center aisle you must keep clear. We understand that? Do we understand that? That means everybody that needs to get a chair or a seat should do so now. The show is getting ready to start. Please keep this center aisle clear. I do not want to have to come back here and say, sweetheart, why don't you just, relax and sit down. I'm just messing with you. And please get your bags and sit down somewhere. Get out the way. Move. Ludicrous. Okay? I'm just going to introduce, and I want y'all to put your hands together for Kevin. You have a question? It's too cold. Well, baby, it's September. It's October. Huh? Turn off your cell phones and your calls. It's October. You got on short. What's going on with you? You called too? Get you a drink over there, baby. It'll warm you up. Trust me. Get you a double or triple, whatever you need. Now, again, please keep the center aisle clear so that the projection camera and the camera that's there will not catch your hairstyle. Baby, you look fabulous. And who are you?
My name is Yolanda.
It's Yolanda, great Googa Booga. All right, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for none. Hey, sweetheart, hello? See, that's what I'm talking about. Keep this aisle clear. We don't want to have to say that no more. I will say it one more time. The center aisle, that means, there you go. Why couldn't you sit down before? This way I'm walking back and forth means the center aisle. See, the projector. I can't mess with that one. That's my baby. He gave me the time earlier. But he will not walk up this center aisle and mess up the camera. You have a question, sweetheart? Huh? Well, I'm trying to make them know, but they don't seem to understand the center aisle. Go to the left, go to the right, but don't go down the center. All right, now, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please put your hands together for none other than the legendary Kevin Aviance. Make him know it. A little bit of and a little bit of
What's going on, everyone? How are you?
Hello! This is DJ Gomi. Gomi and I have been working together for about 5 years now. I wanted to share the stage with him, so the duet. Usually in the background with all my music and stuff, but without this man, I'm very lucky to have this Japanese man next to my side. So Gomi, thank you very much. Get over there, girl, okay? What's going on, everyone? How are you? I need to do a sound check. Can you turn the mic up? Check 1, check 2. Check 1, check 2. Turn it up, please. Check 1. Check 2. More, please. Check 1, check 2. More like. Check 1, thank you. A little reverb, please, darling. Check 1, check 2. When they called me, interviewed me for this movie, documentary, I was a little taken back by it all because I'm not really a ball, and but I feel ballroom for the ballroom, and out the ballroom, I'm so the black and the Latinos have a place to go, fierce with each other, children. So I'm very lucky to have all my music played at the ballroom. The first ball I ever went to, they called me a Clydesdale, honey. Yes, it is.
Let's get this microphone together. Kevin do not need to be up here professionally as he is and have a microphone problem. Kevin, you have to really scream in this bad boy. You have to tell it what you want to tell it.
Thank you. The first ball, darling, they called me a Clydesdale. I walk Butch Queen up in Palms, darling. Little did I know, being from Washington, D.C., that you can't glue on your to a dress. So, Miss Thing, get the girl. Check 1, check 2, Miss Thing, hello, what's going on? I'm not Butch enough, honey, I guess. Hello. Check 1, are we gonna fix this? Is something wrong with the battery? Anyway, so, Hello. Anyway. Hello. Check 1, check 2, check 1, check 2. Check 1, check 2, check 1, check. Can we turn it up louder, please? Check 1, check 2, check 1. Much better. Now, telling the story again, the first ball I ever walked was, and I think it's Extravaganza Ball, anyway. And they called me and my friend, they called me a Clydesdale. I was ruined for 15 years, girl. I never walked another ball again. until recently, because we had a fierce STEM queen, so I could walk a ball. So, but during this 15 years, Kanti and Dindada was at the ballroom as a theme song. So I was very blessed and very happy that you guys embraced the music, and I want to give you one more song to the ballroom. This one's called How Do I Look? 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 There's only one way to be legendary. There's only one way to be legendary. Yeah. Beauty. Boy. How do I look? How do I look? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How do I look? How do I look? 3, 5, 10, 12, 13. How do I look? How do I look? How do I look? Yeah, me. No, not you, darling. Me. Busch. Real. Then queen. Oh, dada. Trade. Oh. How do I look? How do I look? How do I look? How do I look? Oh, down. How do I look? How do I look? How do I look? I look. Yeah. I put this on. Ready to one more time. do I look? How do I look? How do I look? How do I look? Relax. Straight to you. Stormy, how do you look? How do we look? There's only one way to be legendary. There's only one way to be. Legendary. Thank you guys. So I can dedicate give that song to the ballroom and to the movie How Do I Look. So hope you enjoy it. Y'all give another round of applause for Kevin Harvey Arms. Did he carry on? He went from this to that to this to that. He looked like Storm from the X-Men, right? With that wig with the color in it. Oh, which one was that? The one that touched you when you take the glove off? You know what I'm talking about, the X-Men. He turns it. So y'all, that was a good thing. I'm getting ready to introduce to y'all, wait a minute, he forgot one of his wigs. I'm getting ready to introduce to you Jonathan David Jackson from Jesse Ball DuPont. He's a visiting scholar from Goucher College. And he also is a grant writer, and he's writing a book about the balls too, about the voguing sector of the balls. So y'all put your hands together for none other, and he came all the way from Maryland, Baltimore, Maryland, excuse me. Y'all put your hands together for Jonathan David Jackson.
I first want to say to you that we are uniquely gifted to be here tonight, and we are uniquely blessed to be here tonight, because this isn't just about entertainment. This is about empowerment, and this is about what artistry can do for our lives in the face of struggle. And we have to reorient ourselves to the real purpose to why we're here, and to the real purpose to why sacrifices have been made, real sacrifices have been made to do the artistry that this community does so goddamn well. And so, if we could please take a moment, have a moment of committed silence for especially all those who have passed in the wake of the struggles that are before us, so that we can recommit ourselves to just what it means to be in the company of artistic power. And I think that we need that, and let's actually engage in that silence at this time right now. At a time when the roughest and the toughest of street thugs, straight black boys and Latino boys have made millions of dollars off of their albums and records, the artists, gay and lesbian, transgender and bisexual and black and Latino in the ballroom scene have missed out on the funds, when of course for over 25 years this community deserves it more than anybody because of the artistry. To just why we are allies and why we are members of the ball world. It is about competition put to the service of character building, right? Now, of course, you can let the competition make you err, and make you seek revenge. But the whole point of this unique way of life is to allow contestation and conflict to build character within us and to allow us to use our unique talents and abilities to overcome the things that damage our psychology, right? And this film, How Do I Look, the 4th film made about the ball world, is committed, I believe, to just such an ethic of empowering by using the visual to speak to how the arts can change lives in the face of HIV illness, in the face of drug use, in the face of all the questions and problems that come with gender identity, in the face of racism, in the face of all the things that affect us. And I mentioned just now that there have actually been 3 other films. Let me orient you about them so that you can know perhaps and make your own decisions about why this film might be different. This is a forum for you to be involved within this as a process. This is a work in progress showing. And on behalf of Wolfgang Busch, the director and co-director producer Kevin Omni and the Gay and Lesbian Center here, this is the time for you to get involved, for you to give your voice to the process. Because I tell you one thing, there should be some controversy when people outside of a community and even people who may not be of the same racial group start intervening. There should be some controversy. Because I tell you, Black and Latin people, our culture has been distorted. Am I right or wrong? But that controversy should not impede us from embracing all types of interpretations and making bridges between each other, black and white and all in between. Because I tell you, that's why this community was formed. It was the drag queens, the seminal drag queens like Dorian Corey and Avis, etc., who opened up this community to other voices, to Busch queens and other styles, who inaugurated a different way of artistry than just drag. Who created the body and the face and the realness and, of course, voguing. That is about pluralism. That's about diversity, right? And that's what we need. The first film that was made about the ball world was called Voguing the Message by David Weinstein and Company. It actually was made at the same time that Paris is Burning, Jenny Livingston's film, by the way, edited by Jerry Oppenheimer, was made. Say it again, please. Right? And then Diane Martell made another film called House of Trade. Maybe some of you here were in that film. You have to remember that there's been a lot of intervention within this community by people outside of it. A lot of articles written and films written. This is just another interpretation, but there haven't been quality interpretations in the past. And let's not forget that members of the community took great pains to sue Jenny Livingston and Miramax Films after Paris is Burning was made. And that there were some people whose voices were not heard, even though I believe in my heart that Jenny Livingston's heart was in the right place and she worked goddamn hard to make that film what it was. But we must remind you that every interpretation has its problems, and there were some ethical issues with Paris is Burning. And there were some ethical issues with Voguing the Message. Some of those ethical issues had to do with not explaining enough and allowing things not to be contexted properly so that members of the community who have a severe sense of humor would be taken in a way that was different than what they intended. How does this film do it differently? That's for you to participate and ask yourselves. Because I believe that wonderful members of the community like Octavia, wonderful members of the community like dear Luna, wonderful members of the community like Marcel Christian, wonderful members of the community like Mohammed, wonderful members of the community like Junior LaBeija, wonderful members of the community have something to say honestly and frankly about their lives. Not cloaking the problems of prostitution, not cloaking the problems of HIV illness, not hiding from mistakes. Please make a mistake and make it loud so I can learn from it. Not hiding and cloaking and putting it behind the scenes and standing outside of a bar and asking dear heart here, well, what did the girls make money for? What do the girls make money for? They make money because they prostitute on the street because life is hard, damn it. And you gotta do what you have to do sometimes, damn it. And you can't always. But one thing about prevention is to tell you there's a proper way to do it. You gotta do it safely. If you're in a rock and a hard place, you gotta do it safely. You have to hear a message about just what HIV illness is. You have to be able to know what condoms are. You have to have these empowerment messages and these prevention messages accurately. And those are the words and the ideas that Octavia has to tell you in the film. That Luna has to tell you in the film. But you know what? The whole world is no better or no worse than the denizens on Wall Street and the warmongers in the White House. The whole world does not just have people who their families have not supported them, I mean biological families. The whole world is not full of everyone who's committing crimes. The whole world has just as much diversity and richness as any other long and deeply rooted community. And final comment before I go into what the film might be. The ball world, in its 25 years after its split from drag ball, filled black ball traditions, has had over 5,000 people pass through the community. And those people group themselves together in a special kinship arrangement called houses, okay? Many of us here might not understand just how deeply systematic this culture is, and we need to orient ourselves to it. How Do I Look uses testimony, the voices of actual community members, to talk about just how arts empower lives. And I have the pleasure of introducing now, you've already heard one of the producers, Kevin Omni, speak. I have the pleasure of introducing Wolfgang Busch. And I want to tell you about him. I must also thank you for welcoming me here. And I hope that the frankness of my comments have been useful for you. Wolfgang Busch. Came to this country from Germany at the age of 26 years old. He has a deep tradition of involvement within gay and lesbian worlds and in black worlds here in New York City. He has been an entertainment producer and promoter and a self-trainer. I tell you what, when you have trained yourself within the arts, that's a spiritual act. When you haven't worked at the school, but have trained yourself, that's a spiritual act. Trained himself within film arts and videography, as well as receiving great mentorship. This is a man who has a wonderful interpretation of the ball world. And we need these interventions. We need to use different strategies to combat the problems within us. And I tell you, if we don't use these strategies, we fall prey into just what the world tells us that we should do, right? Which is the opposite of what we do. So I believe that we should welcome Wolfgang Busch and welcome How Do I Look.
Thank you so much, Jonathan. Well, that was very sweet. Thank you. I have a lot of thank yous and announcements to make, so I'm just going to read it off because we're running a little late and we need to move on. We have to thank the center. I have the thank yous all at the credits at the end of the film, so we'll just to speed things up. And I want to thank Kevin Avians for his performance. When I approached Kevin at the latex ball about the film, he was so excited and overwhelmed me that he wanted to write a song for the film, and this was a world premiere tonight, and I really appreciate it, and I think we'll be working in the future together. So let me just continue. We have in the upcoming Body Positive issue in November, we have a spread. They're doing a feature on us. The center asked us to leave quiet, please, and no smoking in the building. The silent auction is in the lobby. We want to thank Gilbert and Luna for being in charge of that. And also we have raffle tickets available, and we thank David Altamar and Natalie Aline for providing the t-shirts, and thank Rodolfo for helping us with the ticket sales. And please, the video release form, this is a very important issue. If we want to come and release this film, we all need to sign release forms. And I don't know everybody in the community, there's so many people. And as I went along with the editing, the list just went on and on. And we have a list over here of names that we were able to identify. I would appreciate it if you take a look, and if you know friends or yourselves and you haven't signed a release form, please see David McQueen and sign a release form, because without that we can't release the film. Or let us know if you don't want to be a part of it, and then we just have to edit you out. I had to make a major decision, which was before I started editing. Should I just stick with the people that signed release forms, or just let the artistic flow go and just let my heart do the editing? And I decided I'm gonna let my heart take over, and I edited basically what I thought will make the best presentation. So I don't know if it was the best decision, but artistically it definitely was. After the film, I would like to open the floor for some questions and answers, so feel free to ask some questions. I'm gonna skip the history. Artistic empowerment, a lot of people don't really understand what that means. So what is the goal? It is, how do I look? It's really just the beginning. I think it'll be an offshoot with more opportunities to follow, which we don't really know yet who that will be at the moment, but I'm sure people will demand more people to be showcased, and we'll follow up once we see what happens. Basically, the project includes everybody is going to receive royalties, and that means as long as the film makes money, everybody part of it will receive monies and royalties. So that's the whole idea. By empowering this community, it's not through, this is what I feel is a big difference. By helping a community is actually walking away with money in your pocket. And as long as the film makes money, everybody, and it's broken down, depends on what your contribution is. If you're producing a segment, that'll be a different royalty versus if we just watch you for 3 seconds. So it's all going to be broken down, and we have, I'm putting a panel of lawyers together to provide you with the opportunity to come and go over the release forms. So if there's any questions, I want to make sure that everybody is pleased and is happy, and so that will be also coming up. And also what I would like to talk about is a natural artistic progression. That means basically all these outside negative influences, manipulations, which is really what's going on. I want to keep that away from this project, and I want to let the natural progression flow, which will produce pure art. And that's really what's dear to my heart, and this is what this project is going to be. I'm not going to have it, I'm going to use your language now, I'm not going to have it any kind of influence that is negative to come in and want to manipulate this project. That's not going to happen. And I know people are trying, and they sure have, but you got to do your research when you try that with me. I've become an artistic activist, and some people have a problem with that, but those are the people that we really don't care for anyway. So we're just going to have to stick together, and we're going to have to pull this off together. And there's plenty of time. People are always in a rush. When is this film going to come out? It's going to take time. There's no rush. We want to do it right. And since I came in through the old school because of my background, I certainly need to meet more of the new school children, and we'll add on. When you see the film, there's still needs tightening up, and there is more pieces missing. And considering the access that I had and information and footage I had, I think so far we are on the right track, but we are for sure not finished, and we need to include more people, and you'll see who is missing and what's missing. So it's definitely some rough edges, and the sound is not that great, but we'll all work on that. We're also planning with the film, Paris is Burning is used in universities to teach sex education and alternative lifestyle. The outdoor goal is to build on that and provide on-point information. I also plan a national university tour with members from the cast to teach LGBT youth on campuses. Just to give you an idea what the day on the road would look like, and what I'm kind of visioning is in the morning we have a panel discussion at the university, in the afternoon we'll have interviews, talk to press, interviews, and in the evening we have the opening of the film, and then of course the party afterwards. But that's basically what I envision, and that's my goal, because we need to go out there. I think the ballroom community is misrepresented in a lot of different ways. When I talk to some of the agencies and when I talk to the members of the communities, I don't know who is smarter. I mean, I know who is smarter. Financial support. So far we have been rejected 3 times from the New York State Council on the Arts, and it's been like really disappointing when I was asking for grant money. And it's not about the arts, it's not about HIV and AIDS, it's about who you know on the panel and who is manipulating the panel, who gives the grants. So it's really unfortunate, and that's the reality. And we need money for mastering audio, the video, transfer to film, insurance, to bring the documentary to festivals, music licensing, editing, and all kinds of out-of-town travels and things like that. So far the film hopefully will be finished by the end of the year. It took me about 600 hours of editing and 250 hours of footage. No deals have been signed, and the poster in progress. I want to talk about that. Hedy did the design, and this is also a progress. If you look at the poster, it's at the door right now. All the black images, they will be all replaced with members from the ballroom community, so the poster is also a work in progress. But I think it's a great start. We'll have a CD soundtrack that goes along with the film, so we are looking for music for that as well. My wish is to bring all the LGBT community together, including all the agencies. We need to find a way to work together, not against each other. If we cannot show this to society and prove to ourselves that we can work together, we will not be able to move forward in the spirit of the community empowerment, and we are limited to what we as the community at large could accomplish. So on that note, now it's time to entertain you, but Kevin would like to talk, make a few more acknowledgements. I thank you, please enjoy it and fill out the questionnaire afterwards. And here's Kevin Omni. Thank you.
Yes. You get off the microphone. It's my turn. First of all, I just want to say, before we even go any further, I just want to acknowledge a few people that are here that's very important, because they've been in the ball world for a long time, and I won't take but no matter how long it takes, I got the microphone. First of all, I want to give the legends, icons, just some respect for being here, to let you know that they believe in it, so that's why we should believe in it. You have Terry Chanel here, you have Willie Ninja here, you have David Ultima here, that's right. You got Muhammad Omni here, you got Derek Omni here, you have Robbie St. Laurent here, you have, let me see, let me get around. Oh, Portia LaBeija, still up, honey, my queen. You got Bambi Grant, that's my baby Ebony, old school. Marcel Christian, the oldest legend in the ballroom, is here. That's right, the oldest living legend, Marcel Christian, who just won the Poet Award, the Adelphi Award again for his poetry and his costumes and stuff. There's many more people. You got Jamal Milan here, New School. You got Anthony here, Morales, Manola Blahnik. You got Jay, Manola Blahnik, PCC. Michael Manola Blahnik, PCC, and Jay the Father. Stand up, Jay. Isn't that you? All right. And I'm sure that I just want to let you know there's probably some, well, you know what, again with Kevin Aviance, you know, I had the pleasure to host him at the warehouse and everything else. And Jonathan, again, who was up here making that speech, I talked to him for an hour all the way from Baltimore. You got Miss Juanita Lachute over there in the corner. And come on out, sweetie, I don't want to have to embarrass you. You know, you both know that you know, the vulgar from the new way. Come on out here, let them know you're up in here. You got New School children. You also have Sean Movado, who's giving the ball next week at the YWCA. Stand up, Sean, October 13th, my birthday weekend. And you have Kwame Banks, Omni Ferragamo from Philadelphia, Boston, and now New York City. You can stand up, Kwame. He's done a lot for the gay community. Very well known. And I just see a lot of people, sometimes I don't really know your name. David McQueen, of course, here is the father of the House of McQueen. And who else am I overlooking? Oh, we have Valley White here, who used to work for Harlem United. You still there, Valley? Stand up, baby. She did a lot for our community, too. That's right, that's Valley. You have Luna, Manola Blahnik, Luna Ortiz. Stand up, Luna, who's in the film and also has given us and stuff. That's right. We have my son here from North Carolina. Can I see Devin Omni stand up? And my new son from Atlanta, Georgia, stand up. He's been a little, you know what I'm saying, they traveled all the way from different states to be here tonight. Now, one thing Wolfgang was telling you that we gotta work for the community, this, that, and other, but he didn't tell you about the behind the scenes trauma, right? We go through trials and tribulations. We had to read the Clinton administration and all of them because they look at us like we're not worthy. And we sent them letters letting them know that we are worthy. You want to be on NBC with your new talk show? Well, what if we're in the audience asking you why you denied us some help? Or, I hope I don't get beat up, GMHC or GMAD, why we can't get money for our film, but we can always help you do projects to get money, and you keep the money, and you call yourself doing something for the ballroom community. It's not going to work in the 21st century. So what I suggest is, we start writing these people, emailing these people, and letting them know how we feel. You know, they say, okay, we're going to set up a panel for the houses, council of the houses. They get all this money and stuff. What do the ballroom children get? Did they create jobs for us? We're tired of being used. This film has promised to at least put some money back in our pockets. Don't you think we deserve that? We deserve that much, right? But every time we turn around, they want council of the houses, they want HUD, they want all these things they want us to attend. But they don't tell you, let me give you one example. I was on the internet and I looked up GMAD. I'm not putting them down. If there's a representative here, it would be nice. Didn't get no phone calls returned or whatever, but yet I see they're still advertising council of the houses. This is about 2 years later. They're still getting all this money for something that's not going on. So where's the money? Why we in the community don't pay attention to these things? Why do we allow this? What we need to do is speak to people and tell them how we feel. We need to email, we need to write letters, we need to make phone calls. You know, we can't keep on going on and on and on with the same problem. Now we got a film that's going to give everybody money, and yet they still want us to do projects and be on panels. Think about it, everybody. Now we can go to the film. Oh, and by the way, don't forget that we have t-shirts. Buy your raffle tickets. David Ultima made these t-shirts along with, I keep forgetting the other child's name. Well, you said it. And I'm wearing one of David's jackets tonight that he gave me on my birthday last year. And I'm also having a birthday this Tuesday. So as a Libra, I want balance. I want us to have a film to come out. The last time I was here, Gerald Dupree LaBeija McQueen said that he don't care. He just wants the film out. And since that last meeting, he has passed away. So we're going to make it happen just for him and all the others, and for ourselves.
Yeah, this is the one.
They had a Porsche. Baby, good to see you. You see? What is this? Is it How you go? How you go? Exactly on the Porsche to look. How you go? Okay. How are you, baby? Thank you. They didn't want me there. Good, good. Why you left the building? Why you left the building?
I saw.
I love you.
And here is the raffle. Winner, come up and get your t-shirt. How many? Milton. Milton, goddammit. And Newell.
I told you. I got I bought 15, 17.
One beautiful.
Eso fue lo que yo compré.
Congratulations. And one more. Let me see. Close my eyes. And here we go. Get ready. You're a winner. 230299. You won a How Do I Look t-shirt. Who is it?
What is it?
A How Do I Look t-shirt. 23029. Raffle ticket. 230299.
299.
Yes! She pulled a fast one. And won. Congratulations, beautiful.
Way to go, Wolfgang. Way to go.
One more winning t-shirt. How do I look? Supporting the film. 230303. 230303. You're a winner. You're a winner. And the last one. 230283. 230283. 230283.
All right, Portia, sign that. I'm hungry.
My homeboy, can I use your pen a minute? David, I'm going to give it right back.
Right here. Right here, Wolfgang.
Yeah, I'm coming.
You got to put in the
I'm not gonna sit on the screen crying now. One more goddamn time. Yeah, it was really nice, Kevin. I'll be honest.
So you look on the selfie record?
David!
Back to Germany after
Hi, Danny.
Hi, Danny.
Yeah, it was really nice, Kevin. I'll be honest.
So you look on the selfie record?
David!
Back to Germany after
Hi, Danny.
Hi, Danny.
I'm gonna take one and look at it.
extravaganza. What's up? Legendary. Icon.
I don't have blanks. David,
David.
do you have a blank?
So what you gonna do? A blank? You need a blank? Wait, David, I got a call. I'll meet you at the Chelsea Gallery. The house that started it all.
Here you go, guys.